Live from the 412, it's Platt's point of view, y'all. Let's go. Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Platt. Subscribe and hit the like button. And this is Platt's point of view, the 2024 college football preview show. Ladies and gents, I'm so excited. I've got predictions, impact freshmen, transfer portal, players to watch, games to watch, and a whole bunch more. So let's get started. Hey man, get your popcorn ready. The 2024 college football season will be probably the most exciting and breathtaking and filled with nail biters and exciting moments that you'll cherish forever. I'm telling you, 2024 will be the longest season in college football history. The season starts August 24th and the college football season ends January 20th. Man, you'll definitely see a lot of changes. There's a new 12-team college football playoff format. Basically, the 5 highest-ranked conference champs, they make the playoffs, plus the next 7 highest-ranked teams make the playoffs. Then there's new teams in the SEC, ACC, Big 10, Big 12, plus some Group 5 alignments. The ACC, just follow me, the ACC, they added California, Stanford, and SMU. The AAC, which is the American Athletic Conference, they added Army, but strictly for football. Conference USA, they added Kennesaw State. They made the jump from FCS. The Big 12, they added Utah, Colorado, Arizona State, and Arizona. The Big 10, they added UCLA, USC, Oregon, and Washington. And also the SEC, they added Oklahoma and Texas. If you pay attention, man, 10 of those 15 schools are from the Pac-12. The 2024 season starts August 24th. The first 2 weeks of the season got some fire matchups, y'all. Fire. You got Miami versus Florida, USC versus LSU, Clemson versus Georgia, Notre Dame, Texas A&M, just to name a few, man. So, yeah, them first couple weeks, it's going to be fireworks. So we're going to move on to my college football top 10 rankings. Number 1, the number 1 team in the country. I'm going with Georgia. Keep an eye on Florida transfer running back Trevor Etienne. For Florida last season, Etienne ran for over 1,400 yards the last 2 years at Florida. Number 2, the Ohio State Buckeyes. Head coach Ryan Day has won 86% of his games since he took over in 2019. That's my squad right there. Number 3, the Texas Longhorns. This is a very talented bunch, but they must improve their secondary. They ranked 113th versus the pass last season. I got a lot to say about Texas later on. Stay tuned. Number 4, the Oregon Ducks. In 2 seasons, head coach Dan Lanning is 22-5 plus 2 bowl game wins. He's getting Oklahoma transfer quarterback Dylan Gabriel. He brings over 14,000 passing yards and 125 touchdowns to Eugene, Oregon. Number 5, Notre Dame. Head coach Marcus Freeman is in year 3. He adds Duke transfer Riley Leonard, takes over at quarterback for him at Notre Dame. Riley Leonard, career numbers, 24 touchdowns, 10 enters, over 4,400 yards passing. Number 6, Ole Miss, the Rebels. The Rebels have a very favorable SEC schedule, and quarterback Jackson Dart is a NFL prospect. Check him out this season. Number 7, Alabama. The legendary Nick Saban, he's retired. Kalen DeBoer takes over as head coach after a remarkable season at Washington. Bama, they're very talented, man. Pay attention to quarterback Jalen Milroe. I think he's going to turn up this year under Kalen DeBoer's tutelage. Number 8, Missouri. The Missouri Tigers. Man, wide receiver Luther Burden III is the most explosive wide receiver in college football, point blank period. Number 9, Utah. Quarterback Cam Rising returns. They got 8 returning starters on the defense that allow 19 points a game. Keep an eye on Utah. And last but not least, number 10 to round it out, Michigan, the Wolverines. New coach Sharon Moore, he must fight through the recent allegations on the university football team and find a new quarterback to lead this talented bunch. Alex Orji is the favorite to win the quarterback job. He's a dual threat, but keep an eye on Jack Tuttle and Davis Warren. And those guys are battling for that quarterback job, but I think Orji's going to be the man. Teams to watch in college football. Let's start off with Colorado, my man Coach Prime. Coach Prime and the Buffs are back. They're now in the Big 12 Conference after going 1-8 in their final Pac-12 season. They finished 4-8 overall a year ago. They're picked to finish 11th in the Big 12 by most media members. Expect the Buffs to be better this season. They got a lot more depth. Quarterback Shedeur Sanders and cornerback wide receiver Travis Hunter are projected as high NFL draft picks in 2025. Coach Prime, he addressed the O-line and the D-line. He hit the portal this offseason. And with a healthy Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter, I expect an increase in their win total, man. Don't sleep Colorado. Next on the menu, man, we got the Miami Hurricanes. Expectations are super high in Dade County. And I think head coach Mario Cristobal is on a hot seat. He enters year 3 with a 12-13 record. The heat is on, man. Quarterback Cam Ward and running back Damian Martinez were the top 2 players at their positions in the transfer portal. These 2 transfers are very dynamic, and they can help change the narrative this upcoming season in Miami. Cam Ward, he has over 13,000 passing yards and 119 career touchdown passes. Martinez, he's an all Pac-12 running back last year. At Oregon State, he had 1,135 yards rushing, 9 touchdowns. He's a dog at running back. The defense, it was basically passed up through the portal and some highly touted recruits, but I think losing safeties Cam Kitchens and James Williams to the NFL, I think the secondary remains a big issue, and hopefully they can get that taken care of. Another team, Utah. I just talked about them, man. I'm telling you, these boys could play. The Utes have one of college football's best home field advantages. Quarterback Cam Rising returns. Tight end Brand Keithy, he's no slouch coming back from an injury. And they added wide receiver Dorian Singer. He's a USC and an Arizona transfer. Singer had over 1,100 yards receiving at Arizona in 2022. I think Utah will win the Big 12 and become a contender in the new college football expanded playoffs. Another team, keep your eye on Missouri. The Tigers won 11 games last season and nobody's talking about them, including a 14-3 win over powerhouse Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl to end 2023 last year. Expectations are super high. Their schedule, to me, it's not really that difficult. But it's a top-heavy league in Missouri. Unfortunately, man, they might end up being one of the teams left out of the college football playoffs despite having a good record. I'm going to say it again. Luther Burton III is a 2023 Biletnikoff Award semifinalist. He's arguably the best wide receiver in the country. Remember him. Also, you got Virginia Tech, the Hokies, another team. Head coach Brent Pry is entering year 3 as the Hokies head coach. He has 22 starters returning. The whole offense is back. And quarterback Kyron Jones is a pure dual threat. He was the MVP of the 2023 Military Bowl. This past season, he had 17 touchdowns to just 3 enters, 2,085 yards passing, 818 rushing yards, 5 yards a carry, 5 rushing touchdowns. The Hokies, they have a very favorable schedule. Virginia Tech is an under-the-radar team, another team nobody's talking about, and I think the Hokies have enough talent to contend for an ACC title this season. My players to watch in college football, man, it's a lot, man. But these are just some of the guys that I like. Oklahoma State running back Ollie Gordon III, the top returning running back in college football this season, 4 yards per carry after contact. This kid is a complete back with power, speed, vision, elusiveness, and he's a solid blocker. 46 explosive runs of 15 yards or more last season. He rushed for 1,732 yards, 6 yards a carry, 21 touchdowns. He wears down defenses with his 220-pound frame, 84 missed tackles forced. Gordon is definitely a first-round talent at running back. Next up, Shout out to Westinghouse, the local guy, man. I like me some Deion Hayes, Colorado edge rusher. This former Pitt Panther basically lived in opponents' backfields during his Pitt career. 25 tackles for loss, 12 sacks, 7.5 sacks the last 2 seasons. With Hayes' athleticism, power, he should generate a consistent pass rush every game and increase his numbers at Colorado. I like me some Deion Hayes, City League, man. Let's go, Deion. Next up, another player that I like, Oregon wide receiver Taz Johnson. Last season, Johnson had 86 catches, 1,182 yards, 10 touchdowns. This kid is very elusive. 17 missed tackles, 727 yards after the catch. That's the most among Power 5 wide receivers last season. Despite his 168-pound frame, Johnson is very, very explosive from the slot. New Oregon quarterback Dylan Gabriel is going to love throwing the ball to Johnson, man. Yeah, he's slippery. Next, man, we got Michigan cornerback Will Johnson. This former basketball standout is very athletic. He's a talented quarterback with range. He has the size and skill set to basically match up with any number 1 wide receiver in the nation. If you know Johnson, he was the MVP, the defensive MVP of the national championship game. He balled out against Washington. At 6'2", 207 pounds, he kind of reminds me of Antonio Cromartie. Johnson is pretty good in zone and man press coverage. He has great vision and he's a good He's good at route recognition, solid tackler, good footwork, and his ability to track the ball in the air is as good as any cornerback in the nation. He's a dog. Last but not least, man, Miami quarterback Cam Ward. You're going to be hearing a lot about Cam Ward. Ward transferred to Miami after flourishing in Washington State's air raid offense as a dual threat. Last season, Ward threw for over 3,700 yards, 25 touchdowns, 8 rushing touchdowns. Ward is mobile. He's a mobile quarterback. He mainly uses mobility, though, to find open receivers. Ward is a dog, and with a better supporting cast around him, he should have a better year at Miami. 5 impact freshmen. Keep an eye on these freshmen, man. These dudes are tough, man. They're coming. Let's go with, first off, Alabama wide receiver Ryan Williams. 6 feet, 170 pounds. This kid is the first 2-time Mr. Alabama football in state history. This super talented 17-year-old 5-star playmaker had over 4,600 all-purpose yards and 65 touchdowns in his junior and senior seasons at Saraland High School in Alabama. Keep an eye on him for the Crimson Tide. Next, we got Texas A&M athlete, my man Terry Bussey. 5'11", 180 pounds. This guy's a dog, man. Multi-sport athlete, played football, basketball, track and field, and baseball at Timpson High School in Timpson, Texas. He runs a 4.4. He's an Under Armour All-American, state triple jump champ, ran under 11 seconds multiple times in 100 meters, times of 10.71, 10.86, and 10.89. As a dual threat quarterback, he threw for over 2,600 yards and ran for over 1,500 yards this past season with 60 touchdowns. On defense, this past season as a senior, he had 85 tackles, 7 enters at corner. Bussey finished his decorated high school career with 24 career enters, 76 touchdown passes, and 93 rushing touchdowns. I've been paying attention to Texas A&M. He'll probably be the nickel slot corner this year and get a lot of burn for the Aggies. Next up, man, West Virginia safety Zay Jennings, 6'2", 194 pounds. He was a team captain coming out of Winston Woods High School in Cincinnati, Ohio. Rangy safety, he's quick to the ball in the run or the pass game. Good ball skills with the ability to turn it into a touchdown. He likes to run it back, man. He also adds value as a return man on special teams. Jennings really impressed the coaches this spring down in Morgantown, and he should be a part of the secondary rotation probably before midseason, man. Next up, I really like this kid. Miami edge rusher Marquise Lightfoot, 6'5", 240 pounds. Lightfoot made a very strong impression this spring down in Miami. Not too many look better than Lightfoot in the Miami spring game. Lightfoot has good bend and a crazy burst as an edge rusher. He's a 3-down disruptive playmaker, 35-inch arms, man. Scouts say he has the quickest first step of any 2024 edge rush prospect. This Chicago native will be a force to be reckoned with. He's probably going to force the Miami coaching staff to play him early and often. Now, you got the college football playoffs coming, and this is my playoff predictor. These are the 12 teams I think will make the college football playoffs. You got Texas, Georgia, Ohio State, Oregon, Alabama, Florida State, Penn State, LSU, Notre Dame, Ole Miss, Utah, and that last spot, man, is probably going to be Liberty, Memphis, or Western Kentucky. This is going to be interesting, y'all. Transfer portal. Do not sleep these transfers. All this transfer portal talk, these guys right here, these are sleepers nobody's talking about. Let's start with senior from Central Florida, quarterback KJ Jefferson. This guy's probably the most slept on transfer in the portal in college football. This former Arkansas dual threat standout has 88 total touchdowns in his career, 36 starts at quarterback, over 7,900 yards passing. He's completing 65% of his passes, and he has over 1,800 yards rushing. KJ Jefferson's a dog. Next up, you got senior NC State quarterback Grayson McCall. It seems like Grayson McCall, man, has been in college forever. McCall comes to Raleigh, North Carolina as one of the nation's most decorated quarterbacks after a stellar career at Coastal Carolina. 3-time Sun Belt Player of the Year, 88 touchdown passes, 14 enters. He's completing over 70% of his passes, 18 rushing touchdowns, over 1,100 yards rushing, over 10,000 yards passing in 42 career games at Coastal Carolina. NC State's another team that you should pay attention to. Next up, man, you got junior Ole Miss linebacker Chris Paul Jr. This former Arkansas Razorback is a certified tackling machine. 136 total tackles the last 2 years. Chris Paul Jr., no relation to the point guard, but Paul should fit right in with Ole Miss. They got a lot of good players coming in from the portal and from recruiting. It should help that defense. And also, you got junior Texas edge rusher Trey Moore. Moore had 14 sacks, which was third in the nation last year, 17 tackles for loss last fall at the University of Texas San Antonio. This kid is the 2023 AAC Defensive Player of the Year. With elite pass rushing skills, Moore has the potential to be the most impactful defensive player in the SEC this fall. Moore, man, he's a dog coming off that edge. He's kind of Von Miller-like. Heisman Trophy. My Heisman Trophy winner will be Texas quarterback Quinn Ewers. This former five-star recruit is coming off of a big 2023 season with Texas. Many, including myself, expect a major leap in 2024. Ewers is under a lot of pressure this upcoming season, which is nothing new to him, but he also has highly touted quarterback backup Arch Manning tweaking for an opportunity to play. I think Ewers will rise to the occasion and show the nation he is the best quarterback in college football this season. I'm predicting over 30 touchdown passes, probably a 10-2 record, college football playoff berth, and maybe a national championship. Local teams. Pitt, Penn State, West Virginia. Let's start with the Pitt Panthers. My 2024 prediction, I hate to do this, man. Shout out to my man Brandon George, linebacker. He's a friend. He was on the show. I hope you have a great season this year, man. Go pro. But I got y'all going 5-7, man. The Panthers struggled in 2023 and left fans disappointed with a 3-9 record. Pitt has a new offensive coaching staff. New offensive coordinator Cade Bell brings his top-rated spread no-huddle offense to Pitt. It was rated as one of the best offenses in the FCS the past 3 seasons at Western Carolina. Coach Bell also brings wide receivers Raphael Williams Jr. and Sincere Lee and scat back Desmond Reed, work done type. Remember that name, Desmond Reed. Lee, the wide receiver, he had over 1,400 yards receiving and 14 touchdowns in 2 years at Western Carolina under Bell's guidance. Narduzzi got to fix that defense, man. They struggled like a mug last year. Next up, the West Virginia Mountaineers. My 2024 prediction, I got the Mountaineers going 7-5, y'all. The Mountaineers exceeded expectations with a solid 9-4 record last year. Quarterback Garrett Green and running back C.J. Donaldson and running back Jaheim White lead an interesting West Virginia team in 2024. Keep an eye on sophomore wide receiver Rodney Gallagher and freshman Jason Cross Jr. What up, Jason Sr.? And also, West Virginia, they led the Big 12 in sacks last season with 33. And finally, Penn State, the Nittany Lions. My 2024 prediction for the Nittany Lions, I got them going 10-2. 10-2. The Nittany Lions have 5 double-digit win seasons over the last 8 years, but only 1 Big Ten title and no college football playoff berth to show for it. Quarterback Drew Allure, he threw only 2 inners and 389 pass attempts last season, but I think he needs to stretch the field more. He settled for a lot of checkdowns, but I thought he was solid overall. Just got to stretch the field a little bit more. Penn State has 6 starters returning to a good defense overall. I'm just also wondering who's the game breaker at receiver. You got Julian Fleming. Gonzalez is hurt. Hopefully he can come back. So, yeah, we got to see who the wide receivers are, too. But with this talented bunch on defense and a soft schedule, Penn State should be one of the 12 college football playoff teams. Top games to watch, you ask? Let's start with September 1st in Las Vegas. You got USC versus LSU. LSU head coach Brian Kelly versus USC head coach Lincoln Riley. Expect a high-scoring game. October 26th, Florida State at Miami. This Sunshine State showdown in Dade County will be more than likely probably a preview of each of these teams' playoff hopes. Should be probably a good indicator of which one of these two teams will be dominant. And Florida State, I don't know, man. I don't know. But, yeah, Florida State, Miami, Dade County, that should be a good one. October 19th, Georgia at Texas. These two recruiting powerhouses could be the top 2 teams in the SEC. Texas beat Georgia a few years ago, but besides that, these 2 teams haven't really played each other since the 80s. This should be a good one. November 2nd, Ohio State at Penn State. Pardon me. Can Penn State beat the Buckeyes? Ohio State has beat Penn State 7 straight seasons. The last 2 trips to Happy Valley, Ohio State won both of them games by double digits, man. Come on, Penn State. And finally, my national champion prediction. It's a lot of good teams, but I came to the conclusion I'm going to stick with this pick. I'm going with the Texas Longhorns. Why? Superstar quarterback Quinn Ewers returns to increase their national championship chances. Ewers has already proven he's an elite quarterback, throwing for over 3,400 yards and 22 touchdown passes. That number should go up. The Texas offense will be tough to stop despite recently losing running back C.J. Baxter for the season due to a knee injury. But I'm pretty confident in running backs Jayden Blue, Trey Wisner, and my guy Jarek Gibson, who was rated as the number 2 running back coming out of high school this past year. Head coach Steve Sarkisian, he also hit the portal, and he got some good quality players, man. Starting with wide receiver Isaiah Bonds. He's a highly talented Alabama guy. He's coming in to help out wide receiver. Then you got D-tackle Bill Norton from Arizona. This dude is massive. 6'6", 330 pounds. He's gonna be like what's the one guy's name? Big John Henderson in the middle, man. You know what I mean? But he also added safety Andrew Makuba from Clemson. He's rated as the number 1 safety in the portal. That guy's rangy and he'll light you up like a slot machine. So that's a good addition for him too. Also, they added highly touted freshman cornerback Kobe Black. Kobe Black is 6'2", 200 pounds, 4'3" speed, 4-star recruit with elite ball skills. Also, man, keep an eye on freshman edge rusher Colin Simmons. He was rated as the number 1 edge rusher coming out of high school. These additions just might be enough and the reason Texas wins the national title. Last but not least, Texas has one of the best coaching staffs in the nation. Texas has one of the best offenses in the nation. Last season, they averaged 35 points a game. Look for a more explosive offense in 2024. If Texas can improve their pass defense and total defense, which ranked 105th last season, the sky's the limit, and the Texas Longhorns will win the national championship. And that's all the time we have. Thanks for joining me on Platt's Point of View. We'll see you next time. Take it easy.